Welcome in. Today, we're doing a complete audit of your permanent digital record. Look, every single day we're out there scrolling, tapping, and sharing, honestly, usually without a second thought. But what exactly is being built in the background while we do all that? Well, today we are going to break down exactly how your virtual actions construct the architecture of your digital reputation, and more importantly, how you can actually take that control of it.
Okay, let's dive right into this. If you were to open a new browser tab right this second, type your full name into a search engine and just hit enter, what do you think it would reveal? Are we talking a perfectly curated professional profile or maybe some cringeworthy comments from a decade ago? And most importantly, the real question is, would you be comfortable with what you found?
So that brings us to our first core section, your permanent digital record, essentially who you are and what you do on the internet. We often treat the internet like a passing conversation, right? Kind of just assuming our words fade away once the moment is past. But the reality is, every single online interaction and piece of data you leave behind creates an enduring trail. That's your digital footprint. It's not just the stuff you intentionally publish, it's that invisible exhaust you leave behind as you browse. So the crucial point is, managing this footprint is ultimately about deciding who gets access to your personal information. This brilliantly illustrates the sheer volume of everyday actions we're talking about here. Your posts, comments, likes, tagged photos, and yes, even your private search queries. A quick like here or a passing comment there might seem totally harmless, but when you aggregate thousands of these tiny data points over months and years, they paint a highly detailed, honestly scarily accurate portrait of your habits, your beliefs, and your overall lifestyle. So, how does all this data bleed into the physical world? Let's get into section 2. Impact on your future and the architecture of digital reputation.
It really comes down to this one simple fact. What you post today can actively affect your future opportunities. Think about the crazy contrast here. It takes literally 2 seconds to fire off a frustrated comment, share a controversial meme, or drop a location pin. 2 seconds. But the permanence of that record is incredibly heavy. You're making a split-second decision that could easily have a 10-year consequence. Because the truth is, your digital footprint is actively being evaluated right now for college admissions, career prospects, and other educational opportunities. Hiring managers and admissions officers, they routinely search for candidates online before an interview is even scheduled. And they aren't just hunting for red flags, they're looking for character. Your digital reputation is often speaking for you way before you ever actually walk into the room. But hey, curating your image is really only half the battle. Let's move on to section 3. Hidden online security risks, which go way beyond just your reputation. Now, what's really interesting about this is how an unchecked footprint actively invites severe threats. Criminals use your data in 2 very distinct ways. On one side, you've got identity theft and fraud. That's using private details like a birthday, a pet's name, or your real-time location to commit crimes or steal assets. But on the far more manipulative side is social engineering. This is when attackers weaponize your completely public data. Stuff like your hobbies, your coworkers' names, your recent travels, to craft these highly targeted, incredibly believable scams designed to trick you into just handing over the keys. Fortunately, you absolutely have the power to control this. Let's dive into section 4, managing your digital footprint, using a proactive safety framework. Let's look at 2 highly actionable measures you can take right now. Step 1. Limit the details you disclose publicly. Look, you don't need to broadcast your exact address or your daily coffee routine to the entire internet. Just keep the core of your personal life private. And step 2, turn off unnecessary app permissions. Ask yourself, does a simple flashlight or calculator app really need access to your microphone and your GPS location? Absolutely not. Lock those down in your phone settings today. But honestly, the best technical settings in the world won't save you if you don't change your mindset. That brings us to our final section, think before you post, promoting critical thinking. Let's move forward and see how this builds on what we just talked about. Proactive security doesn't start in a settings menu. It starts way before your thumb ever hits share. Whenever you're about to write a comment or upload a photo, try to build this daily mental filter. Do I want everyone? And I mean specifically including future colleges and employers to know this. Because if you wouldn't say it into a microphone in a crowded auditorium, you definitely shouldn't be attaching it to your digital footprint. Ultimately, it all boils down to this one crucial question. Is this something I'm comfortable with staying online forever? Because the architecture of your digital reputation is being built brick by brick every single day. If you apply the frameworks we've discussed, you can build a true masterpiece instead of a massive liability. But I want to leave you with this. As technology evolves and AI gets even better at scraping and aggregating our past,
What will your digital footprint say about you 10 or even 50 years from now? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive.